All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy November 2nd. Gosh, here. It was workout number 98. Yeah, whoa, holy smokes. And I added the 3 in there. Quick gist. I know you guys aren't going to need it because you guys are faithful and you never take time off. But I've relabeled. You'll have the Google Drive information shared to you soon, but it has all the workouts you've done, and it has the quick summary, so it lists everything, and it says kind of moderate, low, moderate, high level of intensity. You got quick summary, and on the bottom tabs, you have the entire library. You have upper body focused, you have lower body focused, you have auxiliary, a little bit of this, so like the hip workout would be in there, and the timed extravaganzas would be in there, and anything that's kind of odd. But again, you'll see the workout number, level of intensity, and a quick summary. But again, the only time that would come into play is if you wanted to do extra workouts, or you missed something, or you're bored. Any of those 3. All right, we have a warm-up workout circuit to do. Today we have a theme of chest, arms, glutes, core. Wednesday will be back, shoulders, quads, and core. So we have one of our theme weeks coming up. When you're ready, 30 slow, big rotational planks is how you're going to start this workout. And I know it's not very fun. However, we're going to do 30 slow rotational planks. If you cannot do them, you're going to do 50 sit-up scissors. That's the deal. If you can't do 30 rotational planks, cool, do 50 sit-up scissors. Ready, set, and go. Big, slow rotation. Now, some people can do this quickly by accident, and some people spend too much time on it. Well, which one do you want, Chris? Well, 2.5 to 3 second reps. Each side counts as 1, so 30 total movements, 15 each side. I'd rather you challenge your balance, challenge your body position versus forcing too much motion or not going far enough and challenging your body. 30 big, slow, rotational planks. Starting your Monday workout. Woo, that's mean. Breathe. Focus, balance, coordination. Remember, rotational planks has a lot more core than sit-ups and reverse crunches. I didn't say abs, I said core. You are displacing weight. You're in isometric position and you rotate out of that displacing weight. After your 30 slow rotational planks, again, this is our warm-up workout circuit. You've got 20 regular hip wedges, which, remember, regular position is feet shoulder width apart. Weight is optional on your hip bridges. Feet being elevated is optional on your hip bridges. So remember, the height of your feet is a factor. The weight of your hips is a factor. 20 regular hip bridges. If you have weight, put the weight on your hips. It's okay if you don't. Thanksgiving's coming anyway, so you'll get plenty of opportunity to add some. 20 regular hip bridges. That regular position, like I've already said, just like your squat, just like your wall sit, just like your leg press, regular position, your feet are shoulder width apart. It's a reference point between regular, wide, narrow, subtle changes after that. After you do your 20 regular hip bridges, you've got 10 push-ups. Just 10 push-ups. Remember, I'm trying to be a little bit ahead of you, not a lot. 10 slow push-ups. You'll have the option of doing these in circuit 1. We have a chest pushing circuit coming up. But I have a warm-up workout circuit to get things started. 20 regular hip bridges and 10 on your regular push-ups. You're thinking joint mobility, and on your chest press, your push-ups, your shoulder joint is moving, your elbow joints are moving, your wrist joints are moving, multi-joint motion. However, the goal is that you get your pecs. So round one was your 30 rotational planks, your 20 regular hip bridges, and your 10 push-ups. Round two, you've got your plank swimmers. If you cannot be in a plank, high plank hands and toes, or low plank elbows and toes, you can do your prone swimmers. It's either 30 elevator planks or 50 swimmers. Here we go. Here is your plank swimmer, elbows and toes, low plank, opposite arm, opposite leg, or you have your, I just said plank swimmers. You're doing 30 slow plank swimmers, and if you can't do the balanced plank version, you can do your prone version. You just have to do more. Remember, swimmers, mobility of spine, upper back, lower back, middle back, little hips, activation of all those muscles around your spine, and of course, doing them in a plank position utilizes your core, any muscle that touches your spine. 30 plank swimmers. And again, if you can't do it because it hurts, or you don't want to do it because you don't like it, then you can do 50 prone swimmers. Round two is your 20 wide hip bridges. So I change the width of your feet, whether you have your feet elevated or your hips weighted. 20 wide hip bridges. Those hips are moving. Those glutes are turning on. Try to take it out of your calves and your hamstrings and try to put it in your glutes. And because there is a lot of hip spine motion, I wouldn't mind a little core. Notice I didn't say lower back. Your lower back muscles, you can feel those as well. It's not a bad thing. 20 wide hip bridges. Hips and glutes. Hips and glutes. Remember, those little feet changes go a long ways. So if you're on rep 10, 11, 12 and you can feel your calves, play with your feet a little bit. Relax your lower legs. The first question you hear by everybody on the hip bridge is, well, where do I put my legs? Where do I put my feet? The answer is wherever you can relax your legs. When your legs are relaxed and your hips move, your glutes should turn on. After you get under 20 wide hip bridges, you're on 10 shoulder press. Whether you sit tall or stand tall, it doesn't need to be that heavy. Remember, we're a warm-up workout circuit. 10 shoulder press, sitting tall or standing tall. Not our first time, you guys. 10 shoulder press. Remember, warm-up workout circuits have components of the workout that I want, but it's also a great way to get warm and loose and get involved. After your 10 shoulder presses, I muddy the water last round, you're on your elevator planks. If you can't go elbows to hands to elbows, high plank to low plank, then all you have to do is do 30 V-ups. So it's either 30 elevator planks or you have 30 V-ups. You'll see both here in a second. There's your low plank, elbows and toes. You move up without shifting too much, and you move down without shifting too much. Up and down is a rep or revolution. Don't count the up and the down. 30 elevator planks. Mix up your lead hand as much as you can. 30 elevator planks. Rob, those are quads, buddy. Here on glutes. GHD or hip bridge or stiff leggeds. Go try them. 30 elevator planks. Remember, elbows to hands to elbows, low plank to high plank, mixing those up. If you need to, you have 30 V-ups. V as in victory. Legs straight, arms straight, big, huge motion. So warm up workout circuit. You had your core components, isometric weight displacement, moved your body, It's way easier or more stimulating to do them when you're fresh versus when you're tired. After your 30 elevator planks or V-ups, you're on your 20 narrow hip bridges. Your feet are narrow. Your feet are inside the width of your hips. 20 narrow hip bridge. Whether your feet are elevated or your hips are weighted, squeeze your glutes. Hips, glutes, breathe. Now, some people don't feel anything on narrow hip bridges, and that's actually okay. It's easier to turn on your glutes in this narrow hip bridge, and of course your big glute maximus is a very strong muscle. So if you don't feel anything, that's okay. If you feel your hamstrings and your calves, clearly you're using your hamstrings and your calves. 20 hip bridges, narrow position, last round of this warm-up workout circuit. And then you're gonna do 10 on your overhead triceps. If you don't have the tool, then you can do dips or kickbacks or skull crushers. Today we have chest, arms, glutes, hamstrings. 10 overhead triceps to finish off this warm-up workout circuit. I wanted to get the upper body warm with the chest, shoulders, tries, very simple. You have the 90 total reps of core. You have the 60 total reps of hips and glutes because we have a lot more to go. Circuit 1, we're now done with that warm-up workout circuit. Circuit number 1, you've got chest pushing, whether you do more push-ups or you lay on something to do chest presses. You could do TRX chest presses, dumbbell chest presses, bar chest presses, machine chest presses. We have chest, we're gonna have a bicep circuit. So it's chest, biceps, we're gonna have our glutes. When you're ready, 20 on your chest, pushing. You've done it before, the reps will change. Round 1, if you have a bar, I would have you do bar biceps. If you don't have a bar, you're gonna do open wide biceps. 20 chest pushes, whether you do push-ups or chest press. When you do your chest pushing, shoulder blades, shoulder blades, shoulder blades, try to take it out of your arms and shoulders and push with your pecs. Again, it doesn't matter if you're doing a push-up or a chest press, the mechanics are the same. Chest presses, pushing with your pecs. Again, whether you're laying on a ball, laying on a bench, laying on the ground, holding weights, pushing. Whether you're push-ups, hands on the floor, hands on the bench, hands on a TRX, you're pushing. Round 1 is 25 bar biceps if you have the tools, or open wide biceps. 25 open wide biceps or bar biceps. Breathe and focus. So we have a chest pushing circuit to combo with biceps pulling. We're gonna have our pyramid on our hamstrings, glutes. You'll find out that in a second. Open wide biceps is supposed to eliminate that brachioradialis. You've got a long head bicep, you have a short head bicep, you have brachioradialis. That's a weak open position on your open wide biceps. A bar naturally does it, but you can grip the bar a little different. 25 open wide biceps. I'm going to talk about your legs, your glutes. You have a choice of wide squats or stationary reverse lunges. You've done this before, you're gonna see both. And it's gonna be a pyramid, so we're gonna do 10, 20, 30, 20, 10, your choice. Wide squats or stationary reverse lunges, 10 reps. Now remember, I did say wide. I don't do sumos very much. It requires elevated position. Well, technically, right? You gotta get low, you gotta get low. Sumo squats is a lot more motion, and hopefully it's really heavy. So it's a loaded depth exercise. Whereas wide squats, your feet are just wider than your hips. You can do wide squats or you can do stationary reverse lunges. Both of them turn on your glutes a little bit more. And with your glutes, you either get your hamstrings or your lower back. So I'd rather get your hamstrings on these. Only 10. Round 2, 15 chest press is a little bit less. Fair warning, 25, 15, 10, and we have 3 sets of 8 to 12, and that's because of the weights you guys have at home. 15 chest press is less. 25 hammer curls is different, and then 20 on your hamstrings, glutes. Again, round 2, don't go faster. 15 chest press or push-ups. 25 hammer curls on your biceps. 20 on your glutes, hamstrings. Wide squat or stationary reverse lunge. Mindset today. Chest, glutes, core. Focusing with your glutes comes your hamstrings. We'll have a little bit of abs just to rest our arms. After your 15 chest press, you're on 25 hammer curls. Hands are neutral, not necessarily narrow. If you don't have that major tool change, right, you can't go from a bar to a dumbbell or open wide to a narrow, at least change the tool. Hold 1 weight or 2 weights or kettlebells or barbells or cables, whatever you need to do to change the exercise a little bit. Hammer curls goes for your short head bicep and brachioradialis, eliminating the long head bicep. $25 hammer curls after 15 chest presses. When you do get done, I'm not saying you should be done, but when you get done, you're on 20 on your glute hammy exercise. Stationary reverse lunges or wide squats. You can totally mix them up. Stationary reverse lunges, you've done millions of times. The stepping leg is not the working leg. The non-stepping leg is the loaded leg. It is the working leg, and it pulls you back up. Wide squats, it's not technically a pulling motion, but that nice wide position and those hips moving, they lengthen your hamstrings more. You do get some quads on both. 20, either stationary reverse lunges or wide squats. Hips are moving. Glutes are always turning on. That's why we started with a warm-up workout circuit that had the core and the glutes, and we warmed up our pushing muscles and joints. Round 2, you have the 15 chest press, the 25 hammer curls, and the 20 on your glutes, hamstrings. Round 3, you've got your 10 on your chest press. So, for those that have the ability to change the weight, awesome. If you don't have ability to change the weight, part load comes from physical weight. The other part of the equation is time. I don't need super slow, but make sure it is slow. 10 chest pushing, you're gonna have your 15 open wide biceps and the peak of your pyramid 30 glutes. 10, if you are maintaining the same weight, like push-ups or chest presses, then just slow it down a touch. Shoulder blades, just. Shoulder blades, just. Let the motion happen, and then all you have to do is push with your pecs. On the next 3 rounds, I'll show you ways to make your push-ups harder, unless you have ways to change the weight. Round 3, 10 chest press, 15 open wide biceps, and 30 on your glutes, hamstrings. open wide. It doesn't need to be super open wide, but I definitely want your hands open, and you adjust the wide based on the weight you have and how hard it is on the joints. 15 open wide biceps. Peak of the pyramid, 30 on your hamstrings, glutes when you get there. Step, load, pull yourself up. Remember, pyramids exist. It's all about load maintenance. Can you maintain that weight on the way up? And can you get back to the weight and or increase the weight on the way back down? 30. Hips, hips, hips. Glutes, glutes, glutes. I know you didn't hear it a lot in your warm-up. Eyes, 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 thighs, thighs, thighs. A reminder that when your hips move or there's lots of motion at your hips, I want your glutes to turn on. You've got your posture, your core, your breathing. And when I say the word thighs, I don't want you to think quads. I want you to think that it's a leg exercise, not a back exercise. Peak of the pyramid, 30 on your glutes, hamstrings. Focus, breathe, work hard. It's Monday morning. It's all about you and your time. I'm going to talk about the next 3 sets of pushing. If you have the chance to change weight and load up your pushing exercise, awesome. If you don't, how can you change the tool? Can you lay on a bench or ball? Can you change what you lay on? Push-ups, hands higher on something like a bench or chair is easier. Hands on the ground or below you like a decline push-up. When your feet are up on something would be a harder position. Decline push-ups simulate an incline bench press. Incline push-ups simulate a decline bench press. 8 to 12 is your rep range. All I'm asking for the next 3 sets, I'll take 8, I'll take 9, I'll take 10, 11. You got a rep range of 8 to 12. All I'm asking is that you try something different. Hands on a bench. Although easier, it would be a different tool. Feet up on the couch, Tom, would be a different position. 8 to 12 is your rep range. At the gym, you have lots of weights to choose from. Tom, get started on something, buddy. 8 to 12 chest. Do something. Then you're on 15 hammer curls, and then we're going to go down the pyramid, 20 on your legs. So I know rep ranges aren't very fair at home because you don't have a ton of weights. However, I'm going to try something different. Incline push-ups, hands on something easier, but it's a different position. Feet on something, a decline push-up, harder, and that's why you have a rep range of 8 to 12. Then you have 15 hammer curls. Your hands are neutral again. And then you're going to have your 20 on your glutes, hamstrings. So I know it's not magical. Most of the time I try to give you guys the same exact workout I would give you in here. The difference is the tool, the weight. That's literally the difference. I've had people come back in the last couple months like, why are the workouts longer? It's the same thing, right? I hand you the weight. It's different than what you had at home. Leon experienced it when he bought his bigger kettle or dumbbells, 5 months into this thing, and he got heavier dumbbells, and it changed his workout. Just one simple change. 20 is the number on your glutes, hamstrings. Toes are always able to wiggle during all dynamic legs. Lunges, squats, leg presses, your toes are always able to wiggle. Those hips, glutes, posture, stepping, loading, pulling, 20 on your hamstrings and glutes. I don't want you going faster, but I wouldn't mind a little oomph coming up. After your 20 hamstrings, glutes, you're on your chest again, 8 to 12 reps. You're getting a rep range, so maybe you try something else. Lay on something different. Hold something different. 8 to 12 is your rep range. All I ask is you think chest as you change your tools or body position. Eight to 12. For the second time, you're then gonna do 5 open wide biceps. Ooh, here we go, you guys. 8 to 12 chest, 5 open wide biceps, 10 on your legs, glutes. Almost done with this circuit. 5 open wide biceps, and then 10 on your hamstrings and glutes. This is definitely a workout. You gotta listen to each set as we go. 10 hamstrings and glutes. We're not done with hamstrings and glutes. The next circuit will be different hamstrings and glutes. So my hope today was that you got your chest, your arms, your core, your glutes, and your hamstrings. Round 5, right? You have the 8 to 12 chest. You have the 5 open wide. You have the last 10 glutes, hammies. You've got one more set of chest pushing. One more set of your bicep pulling back. Rob, have a good day. 8 to 12 chest. 5 hammer curls is the end of circuit. 8 to 12 chest. Again, some people have the ability to put more weight on the bars, Brian. Some people have the ability to change the different things they lay on, ball, bench, ground. Some people literally have one thing. They have a pair of dumbbells and the ground. Last 8 to 12 chest pushing, 5 hammer curls. Then you get to lay on the ground, and all you have to do is 100 scissors or runners or swimmers. It is not a race. And remember, good 2.5, 3 second reps. I am gonna round down a little bit. I don't want you going fast, but I'm looking to rest your soul, your shoulders, your brain for like 3 minutes. But of course I don't want to give you a 3-minute break, right? 100 scissors and or runners and or swimmers. You can totally mix it up. I'm looking for 3+ minutes of active motion, but you're resting your chest, your arms, your shoulders. Education, scissors, legs straight, arms straight, torque, leverage, big, slow motion. Runners, slow, big, rotation, mobility, activation. You're working on extension. Swimmers, mobility of spine, activation of your muscles around your spine. All of these aren't that hard. Don't go fast. I was looking for a 3-minute active recovery circuit. I think scissors, legs straight, arms straight, torque, leverage, runners, elbows to knees. You can start from the down. You have that concentric motion. You've got rotation. You can start from the up and focus on the eccentric component of the exercise. Both of them, you need to lengthen your legs either way. And of course, swimmers we did earlier in the plank version. You got the prone swimmers, upper back, middle back, lower back, glutes, mobility of spine, activation of your muscles around your spine. Big, slow, consistent reps. As you do your 100, I just want to be the annoying voice on your computer or iPad. You've done a nice warm-up workout circuit with core, little start to your body, glutes, right? Turning them on, moving your hips, pushing mobility exercises, chest, shoulders, triceps. You turn everything on. You're the chest pushing circuit. We'll be doing chest pulling next. You have the biceps pulling. We'll be doing triceps pushing. So it'll sound very similar. We had our wide squats or stationary verse lunges. I don't want to say easy, but nice, safe, simple, effective glute, hamstring exercises. And again, whenever I try to get your glutes, you're always going to either get your hamstrings with them or your back with them. It's really hard to not. So I hope that you feel your glutes, a touch of hamstrings. I'm going to start talking about the next circuit. I'm not saying you have to be there. Okay? 100 scissors, runners, swimmers can take a little while. Chest pulling, we're going to do the same numbers, 20, 15, 10, 3 sets of 8 to 12. Chest flies. You lay on the ground, you lay on a ball, you lay on a bench, you got cables, chest flies. Your triceps are going to replace your biceps. We have a 25, a 25, a 15, a 15, a 5, and a 5. Your glute hamstrings. You've got stiff-legged deadlifts, single or double, okay? There's not a lot of hamstring machines for you guys at home. You can do your hip bridges if you want to stay on the ground for some things, right? Because your flies are laying down and your hip bridges. So your choice on your glutes would be more hip bridges or single or double leg stiff-leggeds. I'm going to show you all three. Here we go. Circuit starting. 20 chest flies laying on something. Earlier I talked about your shoulder blades. Your shoulder blades should always move on upper body exercises, except for biceps and triceps. Your shoulder blades start the motion and they cause the width of the exercise. Minimal hands, minimal arms, lots of shoulder blades, and then you pull together. You pull your hands together. Your hands are holding weights. 20 chest flies. We're going to go down like we did earlier on your 20 chest flies. When you get to those lower reps, can it be heavier? Can you change your position? Can you just simply slow it down? Load is time and physical weight tension. 20 chest flies. When you get done, 25 either overhead triceps, you're sitting tall or standing tall, or you could do skull crushers, whether you have a TRX or you're laying on something, and I'll show you skull crushers here in a second. I don't do a lot of them. I know you probably do more than I do. Either way, I'm looking for an overheadish position. You lengthen your triceps with a position, and then you shorten your triceps with the exercise. So round one is 20 chest flies, 25 either overhead triceps or skull crushers. I don't like skull crushers at home if you just have one heavy dumbbell or kettlebell. I personally like skull crushers with a bar or a TRX. That's a personal thing. It just takes one little slip and the name of the exercise comes true. Again, round one, 20 chest flies, 25 on your overhead triceps or skull crushers. Then you're on 10 on your either both legs, double leg stiff-legged deadlifts. Remember, you can call them RDLs. However, RDLs is a powerlifting component. So RDLs, Romanian deadlifts, you create more power in it. Stiff-leggeds is a smooth version. Or you could do alternating stiff-legged deadlifts. Or you can stay on the ground and do hip bridges. Remember, your glute hamstring choices are either stiff-leggeds, single or double leg, or hip bridges. And those are going to be the pyramid of 10, 20, 30, 20, 10. Good morning, everybody. It's Monday. When you see the workouts labeled as moderate, moderate low, moderate high, low high, I would say this is a moderate low intensity day. Still very, very good for you. Just a reminder, round one was 20 chest flies, 25 overhead triceps or skull crushers, 10 on your stiff-legged single or double or hip bridges. Round two is 15 chest flies, so it's a little bit less. You're gonna have your 25 dips or kickbacks, and then you're gonna have your 20 on your hamstrings, glutes. Chest flies, laying on something, ground, ball, or bench. Shoulder blades lead the way. Minimal hands, minimal arms. Pull with your pecs. Round two, 15 chest flies, 25 dips or kickbacks. Dips or kickbacks, you shorten your muscle at the position, and then you shorten your muscle with the exercise. Not your first time. 15 chest flies, 25 dips or kickbacks, and then 20 on your hamstring glutes. And as you guys know, I don't do everything with you. I do a lot, have rhythm, make sure I stay in the same space as you guys. Again, hear those numbers. Round two is 15 chest flies, 25 dips or kickbacks, shortening a short muscle, 20 on your hamstring glutes, single leg, alternating leg stiff-leggeds, or both legs, double leg stiff-leggeds, or hip bridges. You can totally mix them up. We're gonna do a pyramid like earlier, 10, 20, 30, 20, 10. That one. And you guys have done lots of pyramids. You maintain load and motion on the way up your pyramid, and you either get back to the way you had or increase your load, time, or physical weight on the way down your pyramid. Again, round two is 15 chest flies, 25 dips or kickbacks, 20 on your hamstring glutes. Round three, I'm not saying you should be there, right? But if you're close or there, it's 10 chest flies, 15 on your overhead triceps, and 30 is the peak of your pyramid. Now I'm saying that because we might have diversity on where people are at in their circuit. Don't go fast, but get it done. If you ever find yourself waiting, stretch or sweat. You could stretch for a couple seconds, or you could sweat for a couple seconds. Round three, 10 chest flies, 15 overhead triceps or skull crushers, and 30 is the peak of the pyramid on your triceps. Round three is that nice, good long round with your hamstrings and glutes. Stiff leggeds is a slower, longer motion. Hip bridges is all about the position. 10 chest flies, 15 overhead triceps or skull crushers, 30 on your glutes, round 3. And as you know, we're cruising right along. A lot of chest has been done. Good arms, bis, and tris today. We've done a fair amount of hamstrings, glutes, but for overall reps, I mean, not that much, technically. 30, when you get there, maintain posture, right? Good, tall, neutral spine. Again, I don't use the word straight. My head is above my neck and shoulders. Everything should feel in line. I'm looking straight out in front. I don't feel like I'm shifting. You never know, I could be. Your hips start the motion. And when you're trying to get those hamstrings, glutes, you got to really think of the lengthening component of the exercise. It's a pulling exercise. And all pulling exercises have a longer lengthening component. 30 total reps. Lots of motion coming from your hips when you do hip bridges and stiff-legged deadlifts, single or double. A lot of motion at your hips. So hopefully those glutes really turn on. Clearly hamstrings love to help out too. Again, just a reminder, round 3 is 10 chest flies, 15 overhead triceps, 30 on your hamstring glutes. I just want to talk about the last 3 rounds so you guys get it done, not so you go faster. You're going to have the 3 sets of 8 to 12 coming up. Whether you can change the physical weight in your hand or change what you're laying on, ground ball or bench, or time under tension, make sure you spin that good 2.5 to 3 seconds. So your chest flies are 8 to 12 reps, motion and weight dependent. You're gonna have your 15 dips or kickbacks on round 4, and you start going down your pyramid. So round 4, 8 to 12 chest flies, 15 dips or kickbacks, 20 on your hamstrings and glutes. Chest flies, shoulder blades, shoulder blades, shoulder blades cause the width of the exercise. Minimal hands, minimal arms, pull with your pecs. Dips or kickbacks, you're shortening your muscle with the position, and then you're shortening your muscle with the exercise. Eight to 12 chest flies, 15 on your dips or kickbacks, 20 on your hamstrings, glutes. You could have done hip bridges the whole time and stayed on the ground for a lot of it, not all of it. You could have done stiff leggeds the whole time and had a bigger, slower lengthening component. So people could be in different spots. All I ask is if you're doing hip bridges, make sure your glutes are working. You're not using your calves. Maybe even mentally get rid of your hamstrings, because we also use hip bridges for core. And so I'd rather you get good lower back and your glutes on hip bridges, whereas stiff-legged deadlifts, you're definitely going to get your hamstrings. I don't want your lower back. Again, people are in different spots, and that's okay. Round 4 is 8 to 12 chest flies, 15 dips or kickbacks, 20 on your glutes. If you are there, and I'm not saying you should be, but if you're there, you have that last 2 big rounds. You have the 8 to 12 chest flies, 5 on your overhead triceps, your last glutes, and you have the 1 more part. Round 5, 8 to 12 chest flies, whether you're laying on the ground, ball, or bench, whether you increased weight or a touch of motion and time. I was hoping something changed during your 8 to 12 flies. Round 5, you have the 5 overhead triceps or skull crushers. And your last set of your 10 glutes. Again, just so you hear it and see it. Round 5 is your 8 to 12 chest flies. 5 on your overhead triceps. 10 on either hip bridges or stiff-legged deadlifts. You'll then have the last set of chest flies, your last 5 dips or kickbacks, and you're all done. Today, you have the mindset of core with your rotational planks, your plank swimmers, your elevator planks. Hip bridges was glutes and core. And your circuit, you have the chest pushing, the bicep pulling, and again, hamstrings, glutes. The middle 100, again, I know it was abs. It was more resting your hands, elbows, shoulders, pecs, brain. But today was chest, arms, glutes, core. I didn't want to do abs or obliques. Saving that for the rest of the week. Round 5 is your 8 to 12 flies, 5 overhead triceps, last 10 glutes. Then you have your last 8 to 12 flies and your 5 dips or kickbacks. It doesn't mean you get off the call and go to work. It means you cool off. If you have time to stretch, stretch. If you have time to sweat, go sweat. Workouts like these, higher strength, slower pace, muscle building, your body is efficient and ready to burn. So if you have time to go run a mile or a half mile or pedal for a mile on the bike or 2 miles on the bike, 5 to 8 to 10 minutes of cardio, your body will thank you. If you don't have that time or energy, go stretch for a couple seconds. Unwind before you go start your work day. Besides that, happy Monday, everybody.